Now this gentleman is, I'm just on the way down towards the town centre now, and I just asked this gentleman, how do you pronounce Kirkcudbright, which is what the English would say, because that's more or less as it's spelt, and that's how I've always said it. But what's the Scottish sort of translation of that?
Kirkcudbright.
Kirkcudbright.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll always remember that. That's brilliant.
That's good.
This is a beautiful house you've got here. Have you lived here long?
Only 3 years here.
Wow, it's lovely, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous.
It's a quiet town, not much crime. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I've parked my camper van. If you look here, look.
Oh yeah.
You see that Can you see the the silver transit?
Yeah.
That's where I've got a bed in there and a studio and all that stuff, and that's where I produce the film.
You're doing some walking, aren't you?
I've done right round Great Britain. I'm on my last lap now. I did 4,300 miles.
You got the sun today.
In 2018 and 2019. And then, of course, there's been all the COVID stuff and everything. So I got to Carlisle. I'm on day 9 today. No, day 10 today from Carlisle.
Sun going.
And I'm going all the way up to John O'Groats again. I've already been there once. I've already done the East Coast.
Crumbs, you've done well.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Well, it's very nice to meet you. Thank you. So I'm just going straight on there.
Yeah, the road goes straight on.
And the A711.
That's the school. But then the road going up and round's a bit windy. Be careful on that.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's steep bends and the cars zoom round.
Oh yeah, I'm used to that now.
Yeah,
you know, I had to walk.
Careful.
It was a road walk all the way from Carlisle to Southern S. I walked all that way, and that was road 100%.
Yeah.
You know, but when I went on the walk over to Rockcliffe, using completely different muscles, and I've got to get used to walking again. I'm 2-3 years older now.
I mean, there's another walk you could go, but that takes you up to the busy A75, and you don't want that.
No. I don't walk dual carriageways. No, this will do me. That'll be fine.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You go on and enjoy yourself.
I've got the bus sorted as well. I made a friend of one of the drivers who was on the 273, but he said today he's on the 501.
501.
So he said I'll keep an eye open. So if I do, I've got a safety net. If I'm walking 15 miles. If I can't make it, I can just wait at a bus stop and get a bus back.
Or the weather turns bad on you.
Well, tomorrow's a dreadful forecast.
Yeah.
And so anyway, you know, tomorrow and Friday morning apparently it's going to be torrential rain and gale force winds.
Oh, well, keep in the van.
I will. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Bye now. Bye. it's 9:45 on Wednesday the 19th of May 2021. Well, I left that lovely little town of Dalbeatie about 3/4 of an hour ago and walked to here, which is like the major junction, whether you're going to go north or south or whatever you're going to do. And it's a little bit complicated, but I found my way here. It's going to be a lovely day by the looks of it. The clouds, there's no sign of those horrible clouds that we've been having hanging over us for the last month, really. But tomorrow is, the weather forecast is absolutely awful. It's going to be gale force winds and torrential rain all day, and that's going to reach into Friday morning. So what I'm going to do, you've just seen here, I've just seen a sign saying that the English way of pronouncing this is Kirkcudbright, which is exactly as it's spelt. But as you saw, I did speak to a local Scottish guy who was very lovely, and he says it's called Caircobry. How they get that out of that, I'll never know. It's a bit like the Welsh, isn't it? I mean, they couldn't spell either. So I'm heading direct south into the sun now for quite a few miles. And my plan is, I'm just going to walk as far as I feel like walking. I've got no chance whatsoever of doing the full 18 miles, and I'd be absolutely foolish to even attempt it. And I reckon about halfway would just about do me. There's a place called, I can see the signpost from here, Auchencairn, which is 7 miles, which sounds about right. If I can get to there or beyond, that would be a bonus. But the other bonus is, my friend, the bus driver Brian, who you've seen on odd occasions, he gave me a lift yesterday when I finished the walk back to Rockcliffe, and he's actually running the number 501 today, which runs all the way from here at Dalbeatie to Kirkcudbright. All right, so if I see him, he's going to stop for me and he's going to bring me back. So that's my safety net, and what a fantastic arrangement. And then what I'll do is I'll drive up again to my favourite campsite where the John Paul Jones Museum is, and book on for a couple of nights and have a rest, have a really good tidy up. You might have noticed I've tidied my face up. I got my shaver out last night because I couldn't get it to work, but I've got it to work now. I had 1 or 2 computer problems, which it took me a long time to edit the film yesterday. It kept stopping my edit suite, and I don't know why. What it needs desperately is to go onto the mains and have a bit of an update, and that's what I want to do tomorrow. But it's a beautiful morning. As I say, it's warm. I'm well overdressed, but I've got my rucksack. I can take things off and put them in there. And I'm feeling pretty good, actually, having walked for the last, 5 days. I'm feeling good, and I'm looking forward to this. There's a bit of traffic. I'm afraid I have to get used to that, but you've got used to it before, and it's going to be a road walk. There's no designated footpaths or anything like that, so I'll try and make it as interesting as possible. So that's it for now. I'll see you later. Well, it's 10:45 now, and it's warm, but just a few spots of rain a few minutes ago, and there's a big dark cloud looming. So I've come into a little wooded area in case it absolutely chucks it down, like it does, like it did yesterday. It was raining for about half an hour, really heavy rain for quite some time. But I'm doing okay. I've done about 7,000 steps, which is around about 3.5 miles. So I'm doing okay. I'm more or less, if I'm going to knock off at 7 miles, I'm halfway there. But I think my legs aren't bad at all. They're not brilliant, but they're good enough for road walking. There's none of them steep climbs and all that kind of stuff. And yet it's a little bit boring road walking, and there's not that much to see. And I always say this, I can't make it any better. But the scenery is still stunning, and there's still all the animals, and it's clean and tidy, and it's a pleasure to walk around here. I had trouble with my computer last night, actually. It kept switching itself off for whatever reason, I don't know, but I managed to scramble through, but I didn't get to bed till 11:30. So it was a big surprise to me when I woke up this morning about 8 o'clock. And so at least I got a good night's sleep, and that's what I needed. And I didn't hang about this morning, just had my breakfast and checked my computer. And if you don't mind me telling you, I passed the 250,000 views this morning. I put that on for you to have a look at. So that's I'm quite impressed with that. It's a landmark, and it keeps increasing. That's the good thing. It's certainly not going down. So I'm going to press on, and this is just a quick break. I've just had some water, 10-minute sit down, and I'm on my way again. See you later. Well, I dropped in at this village just out of curiosity, really, to see if there's anything going on. There was a signpost, and I looked on my maps and everything, and there's a way in and a way out back onto the A711. I was rather hoping I might be able to find somewhere to have a cup of tea, but it's not open yet. It's only about 11:30 now. But I thought I'd just have a little rest and sit down on a proper bench just for a change. But it looks as if it's a lively pub, and a real nice village life to it. And it's going really well. You know, I'm still a little bit stiff, and I've done quite a bit of heavy walking over the last few days, and so I'll be ready for a break. And I saw Brian and his bus pass me going towards, well, going west, so he should be on his way back. I'll probably catch him his next time round and make my way up to my John Paul Jones famous campsite. I'll see you later. Hi Brian.
What time did you set off this morning?
I set off about 9 o'clock.
Alright.
I had a really good night's sleep. I had a problem with the computer. I didn't get finished till about 11, half 11. But I had a good early, well, a good sleep. About 8ish I woke. It's the first time I had about 8 hours.
Oh,
so
that was good then.
Yeah.
It was only last week we had field day. It probably will be.
So it's 12:30 now, and what I'm doing is it's fortunate that Brian was coming along, and that was the plan anyway. I was hoping to have walked further, but you know, that's the way it is. It would be another 2 hours before he came back again. So I thought, well, I'll do this now and catch the bus. And as you've just seen, I'll show you now. I've done 6 miles. I've done 12,000 steps or thereabouts, which was good enough. It's made a hole in it. It's better to do that than nothing, and it's another way of keeping myself fit. But more importantly, at the moment, I had a problem last night with my computer. It needs to be updated. You know, in other words, it needs to be on mains electricity really to do that properly. I'm not sure that constantly being on the engine generator and the leisure batteries and the inverter, I'm not sure whether that's upsetting it, but it just needs to settle down. And the thought also occurred to me is that if there are other camper vans around and about, and they've also seen that it's going to be pouring down with rain tomorrow, there's going to be a bit of a rush for the campsites, and so I thought getting there now would be much better than leaving it until later this afternoon and then possibly not being able to get a spot, which is there's a possibility. There's only five spaces, but the hookup will be good, and I can use my electric fire. I can sort my electrics out on the computer. I can keep myself busy and be back again on Friday morning, and so that's my plan. So I'll be publishing this film. It won't be a very long one today. I'll be publishing this later this evening, and I'll be putting on the East Scotland walks on probably on Friday. So I'll see you later.